What's up? What's up? And what's up? Oh, I'm out on camera. Hold on, y'all. Let me get back. Hey, it is so dark, y'all. Don't mind me right now. I'm working it out. I'm about to fix it. Okay. So I'm gonna jump off camera, but y'all will be hearing me talking. Okay. So let me go ahead and jump off and let me fix my background. But anyway, how y'all doing on today? Welcome back. Welcome back to another conversation with your girls on the Let's Unload podcast. What's up, Dina? How you feeling, girl?
Hey girl, hey, I'm feeling fine, honey. I was a little sleepy, but all these bright lights then pop me right on up. So
Okay,
I'm
it
up.
will do it. It will do it.
I am ready. I don't know, Lord. So I'm trying to go on with my voice, but I'm trying to not let Dana come out and let Dina stay here. But
Ah,
just make it do what it do. Y'all see what it is. Now y'all know it is that season with the weather change and your
the
body be feeling
weather.
great stuff. So
Yes, I'll be really glad when it like stay cool, because Sunday it was cool all day. Yesterday it was kind of cool, but today and tomorrow it's supposed to get up to like 70 degrees.
well, man, I've been had my fireplace on the last 2 days.
Yep, today it got up to, it was kind of warm when I went out for lunch. It got up to 70, and tomorrow it's supposed to be the same way. It's going to get back up to like 70 degrees.
I'm here for it. I just don't like my voice going in and out, but I love this weather because I passed by the park today and it was so beautiful, but I didn't go because I didn't feel good. But I just love this weather, especially when the sun is shining. It's just yes, give me the fall any day. Okay.
Like the fall, but I had my sickness last week. That was me last week. I was just like, oh my God, I'm so over this. I had to go
Mhm.
to the doctor, like all the things, medicine. I'm like, I'm completely over it. But I will be glad once it just gonna do what it's gonna do. I'll be ready when we stay cool. That's
Mm-mm.
what I'm waiting on. Just for us to stay cool, not to warm today. It's snowing tomorrow, raining the next day. Like, I'll just keep us in one spot.
No, no, and no.
No. I think I'm back, y'all. I think I'm back. Let's see. Let's see. Boom bam. There we
Damn.
go. Baby, y'all probably heard all the background noise. We try to move stuff, get over here. But
Mm.
anyway, y'all, let's get into it. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know we got to do the church announcements. Shout out to Miss Carla Edwards. How you doing, friend? So if you haven't done so already, y'all already know what the church announcements is. At this point, y'all should be saying it along with me, okay? But if you're new to the channel, let me go and tell you how it goes. What we need for y'all to do is stop what y'all doing, because it's real easy to do, and go and like our videos. So if you're not following me, my channel is Deep Conversation with Shun. So you can go ahead and click on now, subscribe to the channel, and hit this like button. And if you're not subscribed to Miss Dina, her channel name is Journey with Dina, and you do the exact same thing. And let me tell you what's so good about this, baby, because it is free 99. It's free. Baby, it don't cost you nothing just to go on over there and just click a button. Like, that's all we need you to do. Just click the button, okay? And that's it. And that's also by doing that, you put us up in the algorithm and we can get us some new church members and some new friends over here with us, okay? All right. So today we're talking friendships again. So if you did not catch our last video, I asked that you go over there and replay. Well, when you finish this one, go
Mm-hmm.
over there and hit that replay button and go and watch it. We're going to piggyback off of that again, and we're going to jump into friendships. And I end up doing our thumbnail, which was what did I put on
Becoming versus arriving. Is that what you put on there?
there? Oh yeah, I put becoming together or drifting apart.
Oh, girl, I ain't see that. Okay, then.
And the title of this is when one friend grow and the other one don't. So Dina has been on this friendship kick for a couple of months. And friend is probably to let y'all know this is what it looks like when you grow. So, Nita, when you hear this, when it says, hey, when one friend grows and the other one don't, what instantly pops in your head? Like, what we thinking?
It's thinking friction.
Mm.
I'm getting friction. I'm getting what's the words I want to say? It's definitely friction because it's like what even the scripture said, how can two walk together unless they agree? So
Amen.
if they ain't growing together, they growing apart. And that looks sometimes terrible depending on who's who. And let me say this. It ain't that Dina been picking on a friendship tip because I had got off there, but how this came back, I was done with it until last week. And because I have been in a few little circles that had a little friction in them for the last couple of weeks. Okay. And in the meantime, I'm trying to play the good friend to kind of help the friend on this side and to help the friend on this side so we can all be friends and come on together now. And in the middle of that, the Lord told me, well, you got to practice what you preach. I was like, what? Talking to me, Lord? So in this, I have been having conversations with, about how in friendships we don't like to have a hard conversation, which you said plenty of times. And it was mostly because some people had some unresolved issues that lingered and got worse and bigger, right? Mm-hmm. And so in the midst of that, I kept thinking and getting about what's the word that I use? Holding grudges. Mm-hmm. And just being done with it instead of having conversations. And so I've been playing, like I said, I've been playing a friend put her together within the last couple of weeks. And so happened last Monday, the Lord brought back to my remembrance, well, while you over here doing this, it's time for you to practice what you preach. Because you have been holding, I ain't gonna say it was a grudge. I'm gonna say it was, I had the word, but it's slipped my mind. Not so much unforgiveness, but I don't know what the word I want to call it because I can't think of it right now. But
a grievance, a grievance against somebody.
I ain't gonna say a grievance. I can't think of what the word is right now, but it's gonna come back to me, Lord. Bring it back to me. But I had felt some type of way, offense. That's what it is. I was offended by something that happened, and instead of me addressing it, I just walked away from it because I was at a point where I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. I'm not gonna do that. So I was gracefully bowed out and didn't have another conversation. And then maybe they reached out maybe months later, but you know how when you ain't really done with it and you kind of give them a little and it's over, like I really don't want to talk. And so I did that. And so last week is when the Lord brought it back to my remembrance about another situation I was trying to help some people with. And he brought my own situation back to me. And it was so crazy because the same day, this lady reached out to me who panel I was set on last weekend, and she was kind of giving me a little snippet of the questions. And one of the questions was, how do you handle old friendships when you have become somebody new? I was like, what? And I was like, okay, Lord. So I understood the assignment. The assignment was for me to release what I was holding offense to the young lady about, because now you got to sit on this panel and tell people your answer. So I was like, oh. And so that's how, and I kept seeing the word about becoming. We've talked before about the process and, transformation and all that, but becoming, I have been seeing so much, and it's a whole different level of that. It's actually becoming from the inside out, changing to, I'm gonna say, shape you to have a better character. If that's a better word for it, I'm not sure or not, but how I got back onto friendships because I was done with y'all, I promise, but we back.
So, okay. I shoot. So here's my thing. I think that, and to answer your question, what does it look like when one friend grow and the relationship seems to kind of be an old friendship and an old relationship? Me personally, I do think that distance starts to work its way into the friendship. You're not going to call as much. You're not going to check in as much. You're not going to text as much. And before you know it, you look up and be like, dang, I ain't talked to so-and-so in about 3 weeks. And,
Right.
and it's not sometimes that it's always a purpose thing, because some people feel like, oh, you're doing it on purpose. You got some new friends and you don't fool with me, and that usually be the comments that kind of come behind it. But it also can be that when we talk, we ain't talking about nothing, and when I'm over here with these people, we have a meaningful conversation.
Right.
Or if you're getting a deeper relationship with Christ, I may not want to talk about sisters all day every day. I may
Right.
want to testify and tell you what the Lord did for me today, and guess what God did? You be like, do we got to talk about God today? And then it could be that, or it could be something where, you may want to take a career path. And this
Mhm.
could be an old work buddy, and they content with the 9 to 5. And you like, but I don't see that for me. And sometimes when your life start, veering off and you're growing, that person sometimes is okay with being in that position that they're in. And
Mm.
when they're in their position and you're growing and you're not, my personal opinion, you can tell me what you think, Dina. I don't think you have to do anything. I think the time is going to do it for you. The time gonna go in and work on your behalf because they not gonna call and you're not gonna call.
I will say that, but for me, it depends on the level of the friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Because for some reason, I am loyal to a point, and I feel like I probably don't owe it to you, you know what I'm saying, to kind of tell you what the situation is, but me being me, because I'm walking this line now where I don't want to offend people on purpose. And
Mm-hmm.
so I feel like when you know your friends, you kind of know what they expect or what they're looking for when they're used to. So I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with having a conversation. It ain't this, then the other. So I can ease your mind of what it ain't or whatever. But this is what it is right now, non personal, or even if it is personal, have a conversation and then go on about your business.
I think this, and I agree when the conversation happened, but I do feel like the person that's not growing, it's still not gonna work because you're not willing to come up.
I mean, it may not work, but that has nothing to do with me because I've done
Yeah.
my part. So long as I've done my part, I gave it to you. It's up to you what you do with it. Now, if you show me that, hey, I want to do a little better, help me to do a little better, or if you drop it, that means you cool with it. So there's nothing else for me to do on my part. I'm done with it. I've done what I could. I made sure I tell everybody now in this season of my life, I'm just trying to make sure I have clean hands and a pure heart because
Mhm.
it's easily to get offended by something or somebody, hold grudges, go on. You make this whole scenario up in your mind about what it is versus having a conversation. And that's where a lot of friendships, for me, I've seen go wrong at. And so, yesterday I did talk about this on my own podcast and I talked about friendships, but I actually was thinking about like, what does it look like even in relationships?
Mm.
Because, a lot of people, now, and I can't speak for the married people because I'm not married and I've never been married, but I hear a lot of people that aren't married and they say they grow apart. So in my mind, I always wonder, how do you grow apart and you married? Like, is there something they could have done? How do you fix it? Do you work on it? Do they not talk about it? Like, I don't know what that looks like.
I think just like our relationships are the same, in my opinion. And I do think that there are times where you're in a season of growth. and you're in the season of contentment. And I
Mhm.
think that happens in marriage, relationships, friendships, any type of ship. It's going to happen. You know, what let's do something simple first before we get super deep. One person may be on a health kick. And the other person be like, I'm gonna eat my chips while I'm watching you do your jumper jacks. I'm gonna let you have it, you know? And that
Right.
person is growing in health. And then you have another person that's content with eating my sour cream and onion chips, right?
Mhm.
So it's easy to happen. I think where it goes wrong is when we don't, when we, as the person that's growing, don't go back and get our partner. We leave them behind.
Mm.
That's my opinion when it
For
comes to,
partners,
yeah, with your,
not your friends. Because
not
your
your
friends,
friend.
if they not willing to grow, then let them go. That's my new motto.
Yes,
I love you from a distance. I'm sorry.
you
I
got it.
can't.
You got, but see, you married. Y'all in this thing for life. Y'all took a vow to the Lord. You know, y'all in a covenant together.
Right.
So in that situation, I can't leave my partner.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and get your partner. Wait, if you feel like you took too many steps above, you on chapter 5 and he on chapter 3, let me go back and get you. You reading slow, you didn't know that word, let me help you out.
Right.
This how you pronounce this, you know. And even while you're still growing, at least he can make, or she, either way, can make some progression to come up. But I think when divorce sometimes kick in, that's because you grew so far apart that you did, either you didn't want to go back and get him or her, or you feel like him or her wasn't worth going to go back to get. That's
Mm-hmm.
my personal opinion. If I had to speak from a married position, that's
Okay.
just my opinion.
Well, I spoke my part from the single position. The single position is if you're not willing, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to be willing, and even if you don't know how, like, hey, I need help. Can you help
Mm-hmm.
me? How do I do better? Because I have friends all the time. One of my friends in particular, she always say, I gotta do better, friend, calling my friends. Because I ain't got but 5 of y'all. And y'all all call me. I don't never call y'all. But
Mm-hmm.
I know that she's the type of person who she don't really like to talk on the phone. She
Mm-hmm.
don't really like to go nowhere unless we traveling out of town. But if you call her, she gonna answer the phone, and
Yeah.
she'll get to a point where she try to do better. She try to beat you calling, but it don't really work because
Mm-hmm.
it ain't gonna work. But she put in the effort
Effort to try.
to try,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, "Hold me accountable. Let me help me to make me do better." Which
Mm-hmm.
you can work with it. But when you got somebody who's still, you done told them I heard from you and such, and nothing
Mm-hmm.
nothing, and they ain't trying to do nothing now. You
Yeah.
get to a point in your life where I'm learning. The older we get, the less we tolerate, and that's on every level. Friendship, relationship. I ain't gonna hopefully it ain't gonna be the marriage, but everything else is just like zero tolerance for that because life is too short.
I just listened to this TikTok video, and the lady was talking about how she was once dated this millionaire guy, and she was like, he was super busy, like he was running a multi-million dollar business, always busy, had stuff always going on. And she was like, but he always responded. If I called, he answered. If I text, he replied. She was like, and he did it instantly. And where she was going with that is she asked him, like, for you to be so busy, how you always able to, answer and blah, blah, blah. And she said he responded by saying communication is a form of respect. And
Mm,
because my time is valuable, if you need something, I want to answer you. And pretty much saying that people fake being busy, because you taking 5 years to respond back and do all the things, and like you ain't that busy. Because if the busy man can make time out to do something, then what's your excuse?
mm.
But the part that stuck out the most was when she said that he was saying that communication is a form of respect. And I've never heard that. And I love that saying because even in
You
friendships,
write that down.
even in friendships, we don't want to talk. We don't want to talk. We don't want to say the hard part out loud. We don't want to get to the bottom of it. And when we don't want to communicate, it can almost maybe be seen as a form of disrespect.
Right. I feel that. I can see that because
And I was like, mine was blown. I was like, oh my God, that line is a bar. Like, boom, I'm here for it.
I know, girl. I'm putting this down here. I'm putting this down here now. Oh, what's the new one?
I got some sound effects, y'all. I don't know how to act, y'all. Okay.
I'm with that. A sign of respect. Damn.
But yeah, I thought that was a great way to put it. So when growing and the other person don't, do you continue to stay with the friendship? And I know you made a statement saying I'm gonna leave you behind, but that's easy to say if it's a newly friendship. But what if it's that 20 plus year friendship, that friendship from elementary school, from church, from high school, and it's 10 plus years?
So here's the thing. Just like we said, friendships grow. People, I said this yesterday. So if y'all ain't seen my video, y'all gonna have to watch after. I said this on yesterday, but when we get stuck in, how do I put this? We get stuck in tradition.
Yeah.
We get stuck in friendships or places, jobs, whatever, because of the longevity that we have been in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've been friends for 20 years, but 15 out of time, 15 out of years, you got on my nerve, and we ain't even hard to talk. So just because we have been friends for years, years does not equal the quality of that friendship.
It does not.
And a lot of people stay in relationships or friendships for years because we've been friends from elementary. What does that have to do with it? What is the fruit of your friendship? What has it produced?
Yep.
If you like Tyler Perry, you get that pen and that notepad. If the good don't outweigh the bad, then it's the season is over. They have done their part in your life, whether it was good or bad, and we hold on to it because of the years. And I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I've got to a point within these last couple of years that I'm not doing it because we have been friends for so long. No. I have been working here for so long. No. I have been going to church here for so long. No, I'm not doing it because that puts a cap on what else is out there for you. And you know, people used to say, well, you know, I ain't taking no new best friends and you can't meet nobody. You can meet somebody today who will go to bat for you like you have known them for 30 years and you ain't known them but 30 days. I have
and would have a connection as if you have known each other all your life.
All your life. Listen, I got an accountability partner in this group that I'm in. We just met for the first time last week in person. We've been accountability partners for a while now. We talked on the phone that first time for 3 hours. I ain't never seen. I see her on Zoom, but I see her just like this much of her face. We talked for 3 hours. We met for the first time last week, and we had conversations for 2-3 hours at the restaurant. I ain't known the lady for I don't know how long, but I feel like too that we're in a season of divine connections. But you got to be willing and open to that divine connection because you don't know who holds something that you need. So when you stay stuck in relationships because you've been there for so long, you don't leave room for nothing new to come in.
I agree. I agree. And I think too, if you know, you guys find yourself in that situation and be like, hey, maybe I need to start taking some inventory. Maybe I need to go and holler at, you know, Sister Watermelon, you know, and talk to her real quick because I've been feeling away, or maybe we need to fix some things. I do think that a conversation is needed because there's no point of a willing conversation because you got to have the other party there to do it. But you do your part. And if you know, If it doesn't work out, just know that you are in a position of where you tried.
Right.
And like the Bible say, shake the dust off your feet and you move on. You done your part, you did what you needed to do. But when you have the conversation, I think both parties need to go in with a guard down, not
Mm-hmm.
full of offense, not listening to respond, but a listen to understand. What may seem petty to you may be a big deal to somebody else.
Right.
What may be a big deal to you is petty to them.
Right. But it's still for you to respect their opinion, and we don't do that either.
We don't
Because
respect.
Sean,
Mm-hmm.
if I tell you that you offended me by what you said, I cannot stand for somebody say, well, if I offended you, no,
Yeah.
there's no if. I just told you you offended me.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to lead with, well, I apologize for offending you. That was not my goal. Because when you don't do that, I feel like you disregard what I said. So now
Mm-hmm.
you came in with your hands up, and now I'm still mad because you're not listening to what I'm saying. So what's the point?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And defense is already up. Your defense walls are already up. You and if you're not coming to fix and you coming to argue, I think that's an indication is wipe your hands clean and just walk away. Just go and wipe your hands clean because obviously they came in with a different type of attitude, mentality, energy, everything else. And sometimes it can be the smallest things that can make a misunderstanding. And once
Mhm.
you have the conversation, for the conversation that does go right, you both can come together and be like, okay, well then I see your point. I see where they can come from. I can see why you felt like I said that the wrong way, or
Mhm.
I tried to purposely embarrass you, whatever the case might be, because you're coming now with an understanding. I'm not coming at you to be defensive. But I think, hey, y'all, just go and have a conversation. It's okay. We love to holler, we grown until it's time to talk. Ain't
Mhm.
nobody grown in. We love to holler how grown we are. I'm a grown tail woman. I ain't got time. We got all the cute little sayings, all that. But then when it's time to have a mature conversation, we can't.
Hmm. Because we don't want to.
We don't want to really. And we
Mm-mm.
like to stay in our delusion of mind. I
Yeah.
really do feel like we like to stay in our delusion because it props up your insecurities, it props up your feelings, it props up you and your wrongdoing. And because nobody want to be held accountable either. So if I come to Dina and say you embarrassed me, instead of you taking it for what it is, you gonna try to vindicate why you did what you did. As
Right.
you're supposed to be okay with why you did what you did. That don't
Right.
make it right because you got an excuse. I don't care. You embarrassed me.
Right.
But that's all I got, y'all. What you got, Miss Dana?
What you said? That's baby. Listen, baby. That's all right. We didn't cover it. We didn't cover it because baby, I had did my homework. I had all I know. Don't worry about it because my voice,
Okay,
doing some stuff. Let me see if I can pull one of my questions already. Let's see.
come on, pull one of them out. Let me see. Let me try another one. Let's see.
Okay, I got this one right here.
Y'all gonna be cutting up on live now, y'all.
Oh Lord, help us today, okay? So this one says, how do you communicate your boundaries, needs, and new rhythms with grace?
Mm. Okay, I have a love-hate relationship with the word boundaries.
Okay, well, let me rephrase it then. Okay, let me see. Okay, so the title of this one was Friendship in the In Between. You're becoming and they're watching. So it was like, I'm gonna say, how do you tell them? How do you communicate with your friends your needs and new rhythms with grace? So I'm gonna say like if I was doing a fast, right? And you're used to talking to me all the time. We texting, we sending stuff on social media, we doing this, that, and the other. So for me, I feel like to communicate with you with Grace is with Sean, I'm kind of in a space right now where I'm not doing a lot of talking, not a lot of social media. I'm kind of backing up from some things for a while, just I got some stuff that I'm working on or, want to do. So I'm just, not going to be available as I always am. So if I don't respond or, see you some back, don't take it personally. I got something going on right now. So I think that was with Grace.
I think it is. But again, I think everything comes down to communication and just let it be known. And you don't have to, we know the old saying, it ain't what you say, it's how you say it, right?
Exactly.
And we don't have to be so snag and stank all the time when we talk to people.
Right.
Even if you're a friend, it'd be like, girl, I mean, I got stuff going on. And it's like, if the person is coming to you trying to get an understanding, I think that should be reciprocated the same way, first of all.
Right.
Secondly, I agree. If you're moving and you're in a space to where, hey, God, I'm in a space with God. I'm trying to, get a deeper relationship with him. And, I want to pray to him more and talk on the phone less, and just say, hey, that don't mean that I don't love you. That don't mean I'm not there for you. That don't mean any of these things. But in this season, I can't talk on the phone as much, I'm pulling back from social media a little bit or whatever else your stipulations are. But the reason why I said I have a love-hate relationship with boundaries is because I feel like people use the word boundaries just to ghost you and say, oh, these my boundaries. And people use boundaries also to avoid situations. Or I ain't got time for this. You need to respect my boundaries. I'm just asking a question. You making a defensive situation, and I think people use the word. I think boundaries are overused so much, in my opinion. And most times when it's being overused, it's being used and it's going to a negative way because you're using the boundaries as to shut people out. You're using boundaries not to be accountable. But you go put that wall up and say these my boundaries because I ain't got time for nobody. Have you tried to work a situation out? Have you come to a resolution? Like, have you even tried? But because the boundaries is the new word of the year, and for the past 2 years, people just okay with letting their word fly. And it's like, okay, y'all don't really have boundaries. Because what boundaries look like to me is if Dina is a cusser and I'm not, Dina, hey, you curse a lot. Do you mind not,
I'm grown. You don't tell me what to do.
Can you not curse so much when we talk and when we together? You're putting a boundary into place to say, hey, I don't communicate like that. That's a real boundary. Not me blocking you out and not talking to you no more. And then want to, wrap it up in a bow and say, I got my boundaries up. No, a boundary means I don't want you to cross this line. Can you respect what I'm asking?
Okay, I got you.
I got you. Hold on.
Lord, somebody come and take our sound effects in, Lord.
I see this the last time. I this one.
Oh Lord. Okay, let me see. I got one more for you.
Yeah, we got time for one more. We almost at the 45-minute mark.
Oh, I was trying to go on. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about, since we have we have been talking about becoming. Well, that's what I've been talking about, becoming versus arising, right? And it says talk about the emotional stretch of becoming and how it leaves mark. Because when you grow, even when you have stretch marks, you get big and you get little, you got some stretch marks to prove it, right? So I got to do on myself, right? It says, talk about the emotional stretch of becoming, how it leaves marks, but also makes room. Because we talk about how when we become into something new, but in order for something new, something old has to fall back. So the emotional part of that, like, I don't know what that looks like for you, but for me, emotionally, it was, who, Jesus. It's like you trying to grow like outside of your body, and your mind can't catch up with what the body has going on. So that's what it has been for me for this past year, because I definitely have become something else this year, and it had a lot of growing and stretching pains to go with it. But it also, as they talk about, because becoming doesn't always feel beautiful, but it's always building something. Because, baby, when you're going through it or growing through it, you be like, child, I don't want to be better no more. Just leave me how I am, because my God today. So how do you feel about that? Because listen,
Growth hurts. And not only do growth hurt, I remember when I was a teenager and people thought I was going to be really tall, but I'm only 5'4". Because when I was in middle school, I was shooting up. They weren't growing. I was tall. Y'all remember Olive Oil from Popeye?
yes.
That was me. I was a real life version of an Olive Oil. I was super skinny, tall and lanky, right? So, and my joints were hurt. So when my mom was taking me to the doctor, that was like, oh, she's growing. Because she's growing this way, it's making her body hurt. So as I was growing up, I was having growing pains.
Mm.
And when you're growing, it's going to hurt. When people have to do CPR on you, you know what happens? They got to break some ribs to
Mm.
get to your heart, to resuscitate you back to life.
Mm.
So it's going to hurt. I'm gonna tell y'all, ain't no way around it. Ain't no other emotion you gonna go through. It's going to hurt. But in order for your life to be saved, a couple of ribs had to be broke. In order for me to grow, my body had to go through a pain.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know that you're growing. You're gonna get stretched. I was growing faster than what my body was trying to keep up with. Again, if you look at me now, you be like, girl, now who said you was gonna be tall? Who told you that? But that's what I was going. I have long limbs. If you don't like, if people see me, I have really like my arms are super long. I have long limbs,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm short, like right up in here. My limbs are long. But anyway, back to the point. It hurts. So if we have a physical hurt in our body to resuscitate us back to life or to grow us up in our height, what we think our spiritual feelings gonna be, what we think that's gonna feel like.
Ooh, I didn't know.
Natural body hurt, the spirit man gonna hurt too.
Yes, Lord, it do.
It's gonna hurt, but your hurt is preparing you. You gotta go through the storm. You gotta feel it. That's why God gave us the rainbow. This my promise. This the covenant I got with you.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go through the fight. Y'all don't make me start preaching because I'm telling y'all to hit my cash app, okay? So if you go to First Corinthians, one of my favorite stories, and I say this all the time when I'm talking to other people, and these people came together. Go to First Corinthians. I have to look it up. First Corinthians. And these two groups didn't even like each other. They came together to try to take over some land.
Mm-hmm.
And when they was trying to take over the land, the king that was over them was like, Lord, we ain't got enough people to fight these folks. You know what people do in real world? Folks that don't even like each other will team up just so because they got a common enemy. And the common enemy gonna be you. They don't even like each other. But because they don't like me, they finna team up together. So that's what the people did. They end up teaming. They don't even like each other. They end up teaming up. So they end up saying, okay, now y'all, we got words that the people coming and they coming to get us. We ain't got no swords. We ain't got nothing. How we supposed to fight the folks? So they said, we're going to fast. Let's go on the fast. Let's pray. So the people that was fasting, one of the guys came back. Look it up for me. It's 2 Corinthians. Look it up for me. And he came back and he said, yeah, let's go ahead and fast, but we have to go to the fight. Just go. And he said, and lead out. And once you leading out, we're going to sing this worship song. And they started singing. And y'all, once they got to the battlefield, guess what the two people had already done? The two groups that didn't like each other, they killed each other. They turned on each other and ended up killing each other. What's my point of saying all of this?
Come on, preacher.
We don't have all the tools that we need, but God got it already worked out. And we don't want to go to the battlefield because we don't think we got what it takes, but he's telling us, go and walk. Because by the time you get there, I'm already have it worked out for you. So by the time they got to the battlefield, the folks, they don't murk their own selves. They took their self out. And they went over there and picked up all the spoils. They got all their jewelry. They got all their swords. They got everything. But we got to show up. We got to fight. You got to keep going. It's going to hurt. But guess what? Once you get on the hill, on the other side of the hill, you be like, dang, I was tripping for nothing.
You just got to walk through the process because the promise still stands. It's already planned. It's already prepared. It's already there. You just got to walk through the process of becoming so that you are able to withstand once you get to the other side.
And they won a battle and didn't even have to fight. You see how they work? They won a battle that they didn't even have to fight. But they still had to show up. When it get hard, we back out. I'm done, Lord. I'm throwing in the towel. And Lord said the fight already fixed. It's already won. What you giving up for? Just walk. Just keep walking.
It's gonna get hard. It's get hard.
But wrapping it all up and tying it back together is gonna hurt. You gonna get tired. You not gonna understand. The people don't understand me.
Let me get my cash out.
They don't understand me. They don't get it. But if you keep walking, keep going, he'll already fix the fight. The fight is fixed. It's done. He already got the people together. I just need you to go over there and see, because you couldn't get your blessing if you didn't go over there and see.
Well,
all right, I'm done, preacher. Come good.
Well, closing remarks have been done by Sister Shun. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the closing benediction by Dina. May your soul stretch wide enough to hold both grief and glory. May your growth be gentle, even when it's gritty. May you remember the marks left by becoming are not wounds. You are not breaking, you are becoming, and you are held. Keep waiting well, because you don't know when you're going to get to the other side, because y'all already know what I'm going to say. Hashtag, it's closer than you think. That's all I got.
All right, you guys. Y'all got it here first. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.